ഈ വെബിനാറിൽ ഹൗ ആൻഡ് വെൻ ടു സേ നോ എന്ന വിഷയത്തിൽ മുഖ്യ പ്രഭാഷണം നടത്തുന്നതിനു വേണ്ടി റിയൽ ലൈഫ് മെന്ററും സ്പേസ് സയന്റിസ്റ്റുമായ ഡോക്ടർ ടി ശശികുമാറിനെ സ്നേഹാദരങ്ങളോട് നിങ്ങൾ ഓരോരുത്തരുടെ പേരിലും ഞാൻ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. സാറിന്റെ സെഷന് ശേഷം 15 മിനിറ്റ് ഒരു ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയങ്ങളുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ അവസരം നല്ല രീതിക്ക് ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്തി സാറിനോട് ചോദിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. പ്ലീസ് സർ, വി ആർ ഈഗർലി വെയിറ്റിംഗ് ഫോർ യുവർ വേർഡ്സ്.
Namaskaram to all of you. Thank you for hosting me. Sri Lakshmi, should I speak in English or Malayalam?
So according to your comfort.
I am comfortable anyway.
Both, we are okay with both.
I was thinking I should speak in Malayalam, but then after listening to Lakshmi Vijayan, I thought I should speak in English. Yeah, I am little selfish because talking in English gives me a probably more audience than, and probably the thoughts becomes simpler because most of the words we cannot translate. And as in your notice, Vishaya Avataranam, though it is written with alphabets in English, this is what generally I don't like. Either you should use Malayalam or you should have English. We use a mix of both. I remember in Pragati Maidan in Delhi, when I was in Delhi, I went to the Malayalam, the Kerala pavilion. There were beautiful girls with nice Kerala dress, and they were communicating each other in Hindi. When I said, in this dress you are not supposed to speak in Hindi, I said. Immediately they said, ha sab. So I'm glad that you thought about me, and I should have said no. But as Jayaprakash ji told, I don't know, he was telling I am the right person to speak on this. Suresh was also telling, Vijayan was also telling, and everybody were telling that I am the right person. I don't know how many times I told no to most of them when I have to say yes. Or did I say yes when I am supposed to say no? It's one of the toughest topic. I have a lot of experience and examples to illustrate. But I think I should go more generic. That could be better, so that the specifics can be based on the individual experiences that keeps changing from person to person, time to time, region to region. Lakshmi was mentioning right and wrong. Actually, in Bharatiya Shastram, there is nothing right and wrong. I think I should speak in terms of specifying the Eastern philosophy. Who decides what is right and what is wrong? There are a lot of critics who says what Bhagavan Krishnan did is wrong. But what is right at one point of time is not right at after some time. Even Bhagavad Gita, after teaching to Krishna, that is what most of the people quote. Arjunan could not understand anything, to be very frank. It's like giving a class just before you enter the examination hall. At the gate, you start giving lectures in mathematics for the examination which you have to write. Nothing goes into brain. That's what Arjunan also said. It is easy to tell but difficult to practice. Nobody can, even general public cannot, when it is listened by Arjuna directly from Krishna, also could not. That's why he said, tell me now what should I do? Otherwise, the whole lecture would have been good enough for him to take decisions. So when somebody has said no, like Arjunan said, no, I don't want to fight. But then Krishnan gave 17 chapters of lecture. First chapter was problem. To say no was one chapter. But then 17 chapters lecture is over, except from 66th sloka to the 12 stanzas you leave it. That time also Arjunan told Krishnan, I don't know what to do. So I'm sure from no to yes, that is what Krishnan tried to make Arjuna. Then later he said, no, I'll surrender to you, you guide me. It exactly says, we have a buddhi which says what should not be done. Mostly the buddhi will say, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Who will tell you no, do? It's buddhi. When you think, we will say, no, let me not do it. But who says yes? It is told by manas. The head, one H will say no. The another H, heart, will say yes. Heart is not manas, but that is what we generally translate to use. So whenever we say yes, you know, most of the advertisements, there is a star mark and says condition apply. That is what we should do. If that is not done, we are into trouble. What are the conditions? There are many. That keeps changing. See, when a couple joins, husband and wife, there is a condition. But after some time, somebody violates the condition, next fellow violates the condition. It's all like a contractual rule which we write. Maybe a lover, there will be a lot of conditions. In the beginning, no, nothing will be there, because that's a manas which says, I love you. But then after some time, conditions keep coming. You should not do this. You should do this. Somebody loves somebody else because they have shown some portion of their body, or maybe they have shown smartness in their action. Maybe they have shown their brilliance. Maybe their social life is what is attracted by somebody else. Quite possible. Either physical or emotional or intellectual or social. Rarely spiritual. Yeah, he's a very smart fellow. Therefore, I love him. She's a smart girl, so I love her. You know, when the love becomes so close, then they will tell you, don't be so smart. Don't mix somebody with somebody else. Earlier, mixing with somebody else was a positive thing. Now, mixing with somebody else becomes a negative aspect. So to whom, where, why, when, all these are highly relative. Harita also mentioned a few points. I am quoting only those people who mentioned the points because they are the people who made this program, and the elders are all giving blessings and best wishes. What is essential is Jagrata. That is what is essential. Jagrata. What is Jagrata? Be cautious. Be careful. Don't take decisions. You have to be very cautious before committing. For which what you require is your prefix for yuva, vivekam. I don't know whether that is known, and that is the reason the topic is given. I was looking at Viveka Yuva Jagrata for yuva, for the youth. For a Jagrata, what is Jagrata? Which is essential for before jumping into the water, I must be able to measure the depth of the water. Don't tell that, do you know swimming? Yes, I know swimming. Don't tell this. Where? You should ask question, where should I swim? Is it in the swimming pool or in the middle of the sea? Yeah, because you said that you know swimming, I will put you in the center of the sea. Is it possible? So it is not a clean check, conditional. I know swimming, start. Oh, can you teach English? Yes, I can teach. No. Ask to whom you are going to address. Is it going to be the PhD fellows? Is it going to be the the people who create a dictionary? Oxford English professors. Are you going to teach English to them, or are you teaching the LKG students? Okay, no problem. You can teach LKG students also. But if they ask question, will you be able to answer? Somebody mentioned I addressed thousands of teachers. It's not thousand, million, more than million teachers. That's an old stuff probably you have picked up from. I keep asking young teachers of kindergarten, who wrote Tingle Tingle Little Star? Where is London Bridge? They will say, sir, we don't know. I said, you don't know what you are teaching also. But they are eligible today to teach. We have a lot of people who guide others without even knowing what they are doing. So are they eligible? So when you ask, will you be able to teach somebody? They'll say, yeah, I can teach. Great. No, it's a great thing that we don't have good children to ask questions today. Most of the lectures end up with the lecture, no questions. Rarely we see somebody contacts. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I was very happy. I was talking to Lady Sri Ram College, and the topic was Prakriti. I'm so happy that there are some Vikrdis also inside. So they asked a few questions even after the lecture was over. Very rarely we see brilliant children coming, following, asking questions. If that is not there, clarifications are not there. If such questions are there, I'm sure people will understand. Why are you saying yes? Why are you saying no? Ask a question. When parents say also, you should have ask questions. That is one of the greatest credit of Bharatiya Shastra. Anybody can ask a question. And whoever asks questions, they are also considered as rishis. If you are a good critic in Malayalam is nirupanam. Rupam is shape. Nirupanam is creating shape. It is only when you ask questions, the shape will become better. That is what is actual criticism. Criticism is not negative. We have a lot of data, but data is not good enough. Somebody has to analyze it. Analysis comes only when you look at it from different angle. And information is what is information. You create a form out of it. Look from different directions, different angles. When you personalize that information, that becomes your knowledge. But that is not good enough. We need vivekam. Vivechana buddhi. Where, when, why, how, what to say. That is what viveka vivechana buddhi. Practical. If that is not there, Krishnan would not have explained Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Yeah, he said, I am not able to, I am unhappy with this fight. Krishnan would have said, no, don't worry, don't do it. No, there was no direct answer at all. He only said, you listen to me carefully, so you will not be sad later. So what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Not to fight? No. Don't run away from fight? No. That is also not the message. Ashochyananyashochastvam. Bhagavad Gita doesn't start calling with a negative name to Arjuna. Ashochya, that is the starting. Second chapter, 11th sloka, I think. I'm not very sure. You must look at it. Sloka number I keep forgetting. 7th or 11th? 11th must be. Ashochyananyashochastvam. Don't be sad. So what is the message of Bhagavad Gita? Don't be sad. What is the end of Bhagavad Gita? Ma Shucha. 18th chapter, 66th sloka. If somebody asks me what is Bhagavad Gita, Ma Shucha, Ashochya. Don't be sad. If you don't want to be sad, you take decisions. You decide whether you want to say no or yes. No problem. Why do we become sad? Because the buddhi says yes or no. Manas says yes or no. Yeah, I like to have murchi bhaji. Very good smell. The indriyas are of the tempting me. Nothing wrong. Everybody eats murchi bhaji on the roadside. Why not? You also can have. Then the buddhi will say, no, last time I had, then I had stomach problem, don't eat. It is not something to be eaten when you are feeling hungry. Maybe after sufficient food, you can have one piece, no problem. Yeah, I must have ice cream. Immediately, no, last time I had throat pain, so don't eat. But then you can have. Depends on the time, where, when, why, who, how, all that matters. But the manas will say, no, let me not have it. Then night, assume that you don't have it at night. In the dream, the ice cream will come. But assume you had it, what will happen? Immediately you get throat pain, you will tell, yeah, I told you not to have it. Who said not to have it? It is only your manas said, have it. Your buddhi said not to have it. But then after some time, you yourself will find fault saying that is the biggest conflict in life. Einstein to physics is Mahatma Gandhi to conflictology. There is a great proverb. As Einstein is important in physics, one of the subject of Mahatma Gandhi ji is conflictology. What is conflict? Conflict between the manas and the buddhi. When I have to say no, manas said say yes. Because both has got its own starving. Nothing wrong. Today, parents don't have sufficient time with the children. So what will happen most of the time? They will entertain children. When they have to do something, they will say, see, cartoon. So give some entertainment to them. After they join grade 1, grade 2, they will say, don't see cartoon. Why not? There are people whom I know at the age of 70 also, they see cartoon. I remember in Hyderabad, one of the person had a major problem. His half of the head was cut in an accident. There are great Western wrong science which says left brain, right brain and all that. It's all stupid. I've got a lot of examples. There is no left or right brain. There is only one brain. Like Nayanar says, there is what is left and what is right. It all depends on what is right for you becomes left for me because I belong to left party. That's what he says. So that person, I asked him to start looking at cartoon because he becomes very active and gets back to his childhood passion, and I could cure him. So there is a possibility for you which you like will make you active, nothing wrong. But then when it gets addicted, it becomes a problem. So what to say? Immediately, no is not required. But after some time, don't make it a habit. The recent movie which is released in Malayalam, Murali, Vellam, the story of Murali. Drinking is not bad, but being a drunkard is the problem. We get addicted to drinking. Smoking, everybody has to understand what is the smoking. But when you get addicted to smoking, it's a problem. Even Indian law or any law in any world, which says when something becomes a habit, he needs to be punished. When it becomes a threat to the society, he needs to be punished. Otherwise, no problem. You look at what is Purushartha, Kamam, desire. Every one of us have desire. For which to satisfy the desire, you need artham, some means of getting satisfied. But then the path needs to be defined as dharmic. What is correct and what is not correct. But that is correct and not correct, right and wrong is entirely different from false and truth. There are a lot of difference. We will see what is the difference. Assume that whatever I do today, which is sanctioned by my manas, tomorrow my logical buddhi say, I should not have done it. That shouldn't happen. If that happens, you become again in shucham. Shucham is dukkham. So how to become ma shucha, not to be sad, for which that's the center of Bhagavad Gita. Starting is ashochya, ending is ma shucha. What is center of Bhagavad Gita? That is what is to be learned if you want to say no. That's the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. I never thought I will touch that and then speak, but all the ambience today happens to be around it, so I am moderating like that. I'm sure I am not going to do this if I am talking not in Balagokulam Yuva Jagrata group. If somebody else, I will speak in an entirely different style. But I have to be focused on Bhagavad Gita. What is the center of Bhagavad Gita? Uddharet atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Who says no? Who says yes? Who is my friend? Who is my enemy? That is true with all of us. Assume I wanted to join in for one course in one after my +2, I want to join for a degree, which is my choice. Immediately I will ask Amma, let me join there. Or you want to go for a movie, you will ask Amma, let me go for that. Then mother will say, no, you cannot go. Then immediately you will go to father and ask, let me go. The father will say yes. Immediately you will go to mother and say, Papa already said yes, and why not you? Then mother will say, already Papa said, then why should I say no? Go. So we know whom to approach. It is true within us also. We know whom to approach, whether the head is to be listened or to the heart is to be listened. Whether I should listen to my manas or buddhi. Whether I should listen to, whether if father and mother is not accepting my request, I'll go to grandfather, grandmother if they are alive. Otherwise, I will find somebody who will or who can influence my mother or father. We have got a lot of relatives. Exactly, we know to whom to approach for what purpose. That is what we do. So, whatever is good or bad, dharma or adharma, distinguishing that is difficult, we find resort to somebody else who will support me. That's what we do. Assume we continuously become happy. Uddharet atmanatmanam. Assume that I am able to lift my manas into buddhi into atma. Who is asking this question? I should not have done it. It is atma, the inner heart of me. Hridaya guhara madhye kevalam brahma matram. Inside my hridaya there is a brahma which says no, you should not have done it. If that can be satisfied, if my manas, buddhi and atma is one and the same, all of them joined together, that's why uddharet, lift it up. To which level? The atma level. Then there will be no conflict, no questions. Why did I do this? That question will not come. That happens to most of us. Assume that I was called for a lecture. I give some lecture, and after that, oh, I should not have told this. It becomes a big conflict. That shouldn't happen. For whom it will not happen? It will not happen for those people whose brain is equal to manas. Who will conflict? Nobody will conflict. It's like the ruling party is making a rule, legislation. Immediately the court is questioning it. The administrator is not allowing to make it happen. There is a lot of conflict. So the Atma is the judge within us. Manas is the legislation. Buddhi is the administrator. There will be a lot of conflict. That is what is Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is the Atma. The Manas, Arjuna, joins with Atma. Then there is no conflict. And this will happen. And such people for whom this happens, they are called Atmiya Purusha. So who knows when to say no? Who knows how to say no? Those people are spiritually higher. How do you get into that level? It doesn't mean in day-to-day affair, when I have to tell somebody no, I will not say no. No, that's not correct. Assume a beggar comes and you say no. That is not there for a spiritual person. Don't tell that. It is there. It is for crucial decisions. It is not for day-to-day affair. Assume that somebody asks you tomorrow, oh, because Dr. TPS said don't say no. Amma is asking, let me give one more idli. Yes. One more? Yes. No, you cannot do that, right? When you have to be sufficiently good enough, you should say no. That's not problem. But where is the problem? I'll tell you. Assume that I had lunch or dinner somewhere else and I am going to somebody else. And then they are also offering me lunch. What will happen to me now? I cannot say I don't want because somebody do that. They will say, no, without lunch you cannot, I will not allow you to go. There are people like that. I remember when I went to Oman for a lecture, I had two lunch, subsequently 2-3 places. because they said you should come for lunch. I cannot say no. And another person said you should come for lunch. Yeah, I like to have 2 lunch. What is wrong? Only thing, I will delay it as much as I can. In between, I will have another lecture so that I am totally exhausted. You understood? Sometimes we cannot say no. This is must. We will have to have it. These are very, 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 very limited problems. This will not create problems to us tomorrow. That's not a big problem. But depends on what context, who is doing, where are you doing, what is your makeup, and what is the purpose of doing it. I will not say no when I get a chance to talk to youth, when I get a chance to learn something, when I get a challenge, because I find that that is the best method to reach out to maximum number of people, where probably it will give them some learning. Probably they will make some earning tomorrow out of it. Probably they will be able to get into power, position, money, fame, all that. If somebody is of any help, let me do it. That's a service which I can do today. Ena kena prakarena yasya kasyapi dehinaha sandosham jadayat prajna, which gives them happiness. But what happiness? Which should not be temporary, which gives them longer happiness. Probably listening to lecture is a very troublesome job for some people. They are actually, I am troubling them, but I am enjoying. If I am enjoying and others are troubling, why should I worry? So I will not say no. But then if I am troubling somebody else without knowing the context, it becomes a problem. That's why not today, but after some time, when they get a problem, yeah, I have children who will come back to me maybe after many, many years. Now, Lovely Professional University is conducting my lecture next week. And she is doing a graduation program there, and she thought about me to contact and then get into contact for a lecture because she heard me when she was a 9th class student. So I'm sure 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then first year, I think it is second year now, after 7 years. It's nice that somebody remembers me after 7 years. That is because they find a problem which probably that time I must have projected as a problem was not a problem that time. They understood it's a problem later. So some problems will exist today which may not become a big problem tomorrow. Who can give you that knowledge? That's what knowledge is. Vedandago Brahmanaha. That knowledge becomes the ultimate knowledge. So we are not talking about instantaneously something happens. Instantaneously people may feel very happy listening to beautiful songs. But then I will think, what is the context of singing a song which is probably the poet is popular, probably he must have died recently. But in this context, what is the purpose? We should ask. I remember last year when I was in US, I suggested to have 6 different languages taught to the native English speakers and then make them to sing a song. I took a lot of songs. I thought one Bangla song is Ekle Chalero. I don't know how many of you know that. That I selected that and told the church. I was running the program in a church. The choir group in the church was whom I was training the Indian songs. I told them Ekle Chalero Tagore song is very good because that's one of the most famous songs. Everybody sings that. Then immediately the priest came, no, that is not a good song because you are going alone is what is the message for that song. Ek and I, Pathi, I am alone, I am alone. See, we are in a community, we are propagating community, we are telling that young children, Yuva Jagrata, and there is a mother's group, there is a guardians group. It's like a big family. Bala Gokulam is a big family. In that, how can you feel that you are alone? You should not feel that alone. When you hear so many no, automatically you have the habit of saying no. There are some bosses, under them they get trained. They will also keep saying no. That's a problem. Because what you hear is what you remember. Vak word comes from mana, manas. Where is this no or yes comes from? It comes from the manas. How is this manas getting the inputs? No, because many people told them no. I remember a small boy in one of the schools asked, "What is your name?" Immediately he said, "No, Pradeep." No, Pradeep. Is it N-O is your initial? No. I asked you, why did you say no, Pradeep? See, at home, every time his parents and relatives, everybody said, "No, Pradeep, no, Pradeep." So he thought his name itself is no, Pradeep. See, we don't tell if somebody, every child will grab some or other item when they were young. Did we ever say that, yes, take this? No. We'll say, no, don't take it, don't take it, don't climb, don't run. Sometimes it is essential, but if you don't do, what happens? There may be some accidents. So parents are saying no, not because they don't wanted to say no. They are worried, they are scared, they are tensed. They don't have the courage to get into adventure. The worry is against adventure. The courage is against adventure. The courage is against thrilling. Yeah, it's a thrilling experience, but it doesn't happen. I remember in Irinarakuda, when I was conducting a summer camp, I had 35 children. And we run 48 hours camp also. It was not a residential program. So I said, today when you come, you will not go home today. Night, you will stay with me. And tomorrow evening only, you will go. So it's almost like 48 hours program. But then they said, "Sir, should I have to bring a dress for changing? Should I have to get a pillow?" I said, "No, if you are sleeping only, all these are required. If you are not sleeping, morning brushing is not required because you are not sleeping, right?" So what I did was, midnight to 12 o'clock, I said, "We will have got a night walk." Two conditions. What is the condition? Nobody should hold somebody's hand. You have to be alone. "Sir, we never walk like this. We always have to have somebody's hand." No, you should be courageous, yeah. And second one, there may be street dogs. They may bark and come beside you. Don't run. Because if they run, we will have problem. I'm having 20 children run in 20 different directions. I will have security problem. So I said, if dog comes, come and stand beside me. So that, "Sir, are you scared of dog?" No, it's not that I am scared of dog. If I get the dog, I will smash the dog and kill at that moment. I did it when I was in 7th class boy. I remember when dog came to bite me, I took that leg and then smashed it on the ground and killed that. So sometimes you need a lot of courage. And when I did that, they were telling, "Sir, after 7, 8, midnight on the road," oh, we never thought. We thought we are staying back to learn maths, physics, chemistry. No. See, we need a lot of courage. I do a lot of crazy things during the camp. That is to give them courage. When you have to get courage, probably you must get into thrilling experience. Sometime what you should do, you cannot do it instantaneously. You will have to buy time. You don't have to say no or yes. Sometime after some time, whatever you say yes or no, the relevance itself will go. Buying time is the middle approach. We have a great ruler in Delhi, Narasimha Rao. P.V. Narasimha Rao was very famous for buying time. There is a great joke on him. One of his brother told, "I am loving somebody else who belongs to some other," his brother. "Loving somebody else who belongs to some other caste. Shall I marry?" P.V. Narasimha Rao said, "Wait." He never said yes or no. What did he said was, "Wait." What happened? Narasimha Rao also died, the other fellow also died. Marriage never happened. That's it. Okay. Sometimes the best method is wait. Prabhudevas, there is one beautiful movie in which the hero and heroine comes, and then immediately the Prabhudeva said, "Don't approach, keep 1 meter away, wait, think." Then we decide what is to be done. Those days quarantine was not there, only Valentine was there. Now the quarantine becomes opposite of Valentine, right? So definitely sometime waiting will give you lot of solace. It is not no or yes. The best via media is wait. Assume that you are in a sadhya. Somebody is giving you food. You don't want to say no. Sambar. Do you want to say no? No, wait. The fellow will go definitely. If he comes back second time, opt it. That's maybe sometime better. Earlier I said, fact, truth. There are a lot of differences. what is perceived, what is heard, what is felt, what is learned, what is understood, what is directly known. All these are different, very, very different things. So who decides this? Purne Manasi Sampurnam Jagat Sarvam Sudhadravaihi. You know, Rama also had a similar problem. Rama said, my father is not at all good. He is not practical. He is always saying no to me. Then Rama was sent to Vasishta. The Yoga Vasishtam taught what is right and wrong. And the essence of Yoga Vasishtam is it's all in the mind. What you think is right in your manas is what is right. And how do you make sure the maturity? No, if you don't have maturity, you will have problems. So it's essential to balance. Balancing comes only when we say, I don't mind. Ma, you should not have told me now. Later you should tell me now. So presently you say yes. We have to balance three things in life. One is role, one is goal, one is value. Assume my friend is calling me for a movie. Should I go for a movie with he or she? It doesn't matter. I am not segregating the gender. Assume somebody is calling for a movie. Should I say yes or no? How do I know the movie is good or bad? I will ask, what is the movie? You explain it. He explains or she explains, and then find, yeah, because she likes because of this or he likes because of this, I also should love it. But then I have another role. I have a lecture to give. Probably I have to attend a marriage. Probably I have to go back home. That's a role which I have. Should I play the role with my friend or with my relative? Assume that I have to attend my cousin's marriage. Should I go for the marriage, skipping the class? Or should I attend the class, skipping the marriage? How important is that? So we always have priority. So balancing comes because of our priority. So saying yes or no is creating a balance in the priority. That could be because of role, because of goal, because of values. I have a value. I attend the programs and it has to follow the timings. Now 4:30 is over. Now am I supposed to stop at 4:30 or 4:40? 4:40 to 4:50 is that. Assume that it doesn't happen. Then what do we do? It spoils the relation. So why do we still agree? We agree because there is a relation. Somebody knows me. I am very close to him. He should not create a problem. So what am I doing there? I am reducing my value. I am reducing my structure of wisdom, value, important things, what I thought is very essential. I am reducing it. And my role, I am improving. Now, my goal is to give a lecture which makes people to convince. What I am saying, take them into the line, allow them to think. I am not giving solutions. I am giving concern or making every one of you who listen to me be concerned, understand, analyze, criticize, perceive in your way, not the way I want to perceive myself. The speaker wants not you to perceive in the style the speaker perceives. You have your own perception. Make your perception. Understand it clearly. Assume I am somebody who is very close to you. You heard me in childhood. And then immediately when, oh, Dr. TPS says, therefore I should listen. So what happens there? Your role de facto, what the value which you think you are analytically, you have to think about it, that is surrendered. You remember in Kiridam or somewhere, that movie, when Mohanlal is to be made to keep his weapon down, Tilakan comes and says, Achanada parayane. That means when father says, you must listen. Correct? There is nothing like that in the world. That is why we have mythological stories in which listening to father, listening to uncle, all these are not essential. Nothing wrong in telling somebody else, I don't agree with you. That is what Bharatiya Shastram says. Bharatiya Shastram always obeys Tarkam. Tarka Shastram, that's a big science. But under one condition, you must be able to logically explain why you are right and why somebody else is wrong. It says yukti yukta upadeyam vachanam balakatapi. Even a small child comes and says, this is logic. Who has to listen? Anyatranam avatyajam apyuktam brahma katapi. Even Brahma comes and says, assume that somebody says today, now it is night. Yeah, night, but not in India, in the place where I am living. In Hyderabad, it is day. So I must be able to tell and convince him, show him. Why should I listen to somebody when somebody is wrong? That is not part of our Vedic learning. Most of the time, we mistake that our parampara says you have to listen to elderly people. No, it is not at all required. You have to listen to somebody who have got a big dress and good dress. No, it is also not required. That is why Shankara's story with Chandala is given. Just because somebody looks like a brilliant person, don't listen to him. There was a great argument between Chandala and Shankara. You can argue with anyone, but argue with the people to learn where there is a contextual explanation which you can understand. Don't be obliged to somebody. That's what the essence of. When you say yes or no, don't become obliged. Somebody says, I know what to be done. Okay, you know what to be done. Nothing can be done. Do what you want. That's it. Vacate the place. Don't give advices. Don't give advices. Don't try to object to somebody. Don't try to argue somebody when it is not essential. Some people have the habit of saying no. Every word starts with no. And then the same thing what somebody else said, he will repeat it as his version. And you will say, this is what he said. Actually, what he said was only repeated. So this becomes a reason for somebody to create tension in the other fellow so that the attention is grabbed. Sometimes that's a great mathematics principle. I don't know how many of you know this. Reductio absurd method. That is good in writing article. That's a method of getting attention from somebody. We keep saying mathematics is a bad subject. Definitely those who love mathematics will look at it and why this man is saying mathematics is a bad subject. So attention is grabbed. And somebody who doesn't like mathematics definitely will love it because they are supporting them. And logically, I must prove that mathematics is interesting. That method is called reductio absurd method. You must have seen in some of the theorems prove. Imagine the contradiction. Then at the end, you will reach a contradiction and say, because you are reaching a contradiction, because you said no first, again you got a problem. Therefore, it was not no, it is yes. This is a beautiful method. It's very good in writing essay. I train students for writing essay in this context, in this style. This is what is to be done sometimes. So saying no, nothing wrong. But you must tell, if I say no, this is what will happen. Therefore, no is not the right option. Yes is the right option. So these are all different methodology to approach the problem. How do you get this? This trick is obtained by using the satsang. Understand from the people who knows this technique. That is why Krishna also said no. Krishna was not saying no. Actually, he uses a lot of such methodology. Bhagavad Gita gives beautiful methodologies which you can flow and follow in your daily life. It is almost a month back in Janaki Memorial College in Delhi. Philosophy department arranged 2 days program where I was explaining Sankhya Shastram. Sankhya is logic. The Sankhya Shastram is the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where practically how do you use, how do you prioritize your role, know your goals and decide whether you have to say no or not. Arjuna, Krishna, beautiful example. Same school, under same guru, same teacher only taught Duryodhana also. But Duryodhana, he did a lot of wrong things. That's what general public says. But I don't think Duryodhana agrees that he did something wrong. Why? Because Duryodhana's manas always says what he does is correct. So who was unhappy? His mother was unhappy. Why mother is unhappy? Because she was blind. No. Husband was blind. When husband is blind, the wife is supposed to open the eyes to see the world around. But what she did, she closed her eyes also. That is why people like Duryodhana became a bad student. That is why the son becomes bad. That is why Duryodhana says, Janami dharmam, I know what is right. Nacha me pravarti, I am not able to do it. Janamya dharmam, what should not be done also I know. Nacha me nivarti, I am not able to stop doing it. Why? Kenapi kamena hridistidena. My desire says do this and I am doing it blindly. So sometimes following the desire is blind. So Mahabharata explains it is logical reasoning what is essential. It is the same with Kamsa, Ravana, Krishna. All of them, if you look at it, you will understand the essence of all these stories are to understand what is right and wrong contextually. It's all contextual. It is not, there is no absolute truth in the world. Absolute truth was there. That is the time when Satya Yuga was there. That Satya Yuga truth will not work in Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga truth will not work in Dwapara Yuga. Dwapara Yuga truth will not work in Kaligala. So you must know. And it is not telling yes or no what is important. How do you present it to make the other person convinced? That is the profession of an advocate. Advocate will have to take all the cases, whether it is right or wrong, doesn't matter. But he must be able to prove that what he does professionally is correct. So sometimes individually correct, personally is correct. That is not correct for the family. What is correct for the family need not be correct for the samudaya, the religion in which you belongs to, the caste and creed in which you belongs to, the place where you are living. The society will not agree, but other society may agree. So the rules are not stable. It keeps changing from time to time, place to place. Which country is holding, the rule is different. The law of the land, that's why it is called the law of the land. So therefore, each time you must understand, have a ear for the person whom you wanted to advise. I'm a life mentor. I've got beautiful 2 years. I keep listening to problems. I have got pages and pages. People write to me, talk to me, understand. Probably, sometime they take their problem and then add me inside that, understand that I will support them. They may not. I will not support. I have got a lot of such examples to prove. It makes me to smile sometime what I did maybe 20 years back. After 20 years, people come back and say, yeah, that day you said, no, that was wonderful. Very good. Sometimes we use a lot of analysis. Horoscope also is used sometimes to understand which person has to do what. So our Shastram is not unique. Our Shastram has got a lot of combinations to be used. That is how we should get into. I'm sure I can go on and on like this, but I thought I have to speak up to 4:40. 1 minute I delayed. Sorry for that. So thank you for patient listening. Probably I wish we can have a lot of dialogue, lot of discussion around this topic. That would be much better. And in case I have to quote something or refer something, I could always do that. Yeah, because I started 10 minutes late, instead of 4:30, I'm stopping at 4:40. We could have discussions as long as you want. If time doesn't permit, you can always get back to me. Search for Dr. TPS, DR for doctor, T for teachers, P for parents, S for students. I support all these 3 groups. I think that covers the whole region of people in different spectrum of life. Teachers, parents, and students. So thank you, Sri Lakshmi, for nice anchoring. And I'm sure the thoughts which, I think it's Lakshmi who shared the thoughts, Lakshmi Vijayan, beautifully said. And your president also made it very clear, Harita. Yeah, I've had a lot of good audience in Delhi. Probably I don't have in Hyderabad. I think Balagokulam Hyderabad is not using me these days because I left Hyderabad many years and then I was roaming around the world. Thank you, and glad that Balagokulam Delhi gives me more options to talk to people than. But every day I have got something or other, so I'm keeping myself busy. Today morning we had a great seminar on starting small institutions for implementing national education policy as forerunners. I don't know how Balagokulam Delhi can take it up. I suggested that to Balagokulam Hyderabad. They are planning to have discussions, but nothing in concrete came up. My plan was we are doing Balagokulam for Sundays. Instead of that, there is great option under national education policy to make age 3 to grade 3 as formal education under the umbrella of infrastructure like Balagokulam, because we have a lot of mothers, young parents who can be molded to become mentor teachers, and then give the basic Sanskritam as the sloka, subhashitams, all that as the lesson, then bring it up at a different level. Probably Balagokulam, because I got an opportunity, I'm pushing my idea. I am discussing it with various groups around India. Yesterday, I had a long discussion with the people from UK. Many people are interested to start this program. This is called the Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam, where it will become a parallel school because online programs are not catering to the requirements of young children up to 5 years or even up to 8 years. I don't think next year it is going to happen because of the COVID. So how well we can have a school system like an extended Balagokulam as a full-fledged program where we can become the flag holders and the early bird inventors, implementers of national education policy. Maybe we can have a different dialogue at a different point if all of you take it into positive spirit. We could have dialogue.
Hi, sir.
Yeah,
Is the forum open for questions?
I think, yeah, it is you have to decide. Atira
Okay.
Gopi.
Yes. Hi, sir. My name is Atira. Actually, first of all, I would like to congratulate the whole Balagokulam team for conducting this webinar because I think it's very important currently because we are in this political climate where, you know, a lot of things have been debatable about questioning and saying no and everything. So as you said, there
What is
is
your background, Atira? May I know?
Sure,
How did
sure.
you land up here?
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Atira and I'm a master's student in women's studies from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. And my mother is actually working with Balagokulam since a lot of
You
years.
are in Bombay at this.
Yes, yes. No, currently I am in Delhi because of COVID.
Yeah,
I had to
otherwise,
continue my master's in online mode. Yes.
yeah. My son
Okay,
is an
so
alumni in the Tata School of Social Sciences, Development Studies.
okay. I am in the development school only.
Yeah,
The development school has to.
now he finished his PhD in Dublin, continuing postdoc.
Okay, great, sir. Okay, so coming to my question, you know that as students and as children, we have been conditioned to not ask questions since childhood, in classrooms, in family functions, and probably everywhere. We are discouraged to ask questions, particularly when it comes to following set of norms which fall under the category of culture, that we have a culture of respecting our elders or our family members or teachers. And I really appreciate that as a person who has interacted with millions of teachers. I really appreciate your belief in the importance of questions and saying no. I was also wondering what would have happened if, you know, Ekalavya would have said no to Dronacharya when he asked for his thumb, because his art, his skill was developed by his own, you know, hard work. And because of his caste location, he didn't have access to Dronacharya's classes. So it was not his mistakes, but he was born into a particular caste location, right? Ekalavya was a tribal student. So I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that you acknowledge the importance of questions, and also because a lot of young people are listening to you, and we are also growing into conscious citizens of this country. What is it that you want to tell us youngsters uh, about the current situation in our country, where the government is not really supportive of people asking questions and is imposing UAPA and cases of sedition on youngsters like 21-year-old Disha Ravi, who said no to something. So the right to say no is being uh, maybe oppressed in the country right now. So how would you then uh, talk about the importance of saying no in a democratic nation, especially because, see, no one is ruling us, right? We are not living in a monarchy or an authoritative nation. We are in a democracy, and democracy is for the people, by the people, and everything. So dissent and questioning is essential to the nature of democracy, right? So then how would you then talk to youngsters who are being maybe oppressed by this government for asking questions, for saying no?
Adira, I think we should have a long seminar on your question alone. And I am any moment we can have an individual dialogue. We will record it and then post it onto YouTube. I have more than 2,000 videos I do with individual discussions.
Okay.
When we say democracy,
Yeah.
probably India is the only place we have got maximum democracy. But
largest democracy, yes.
Not largest, with large freedom. Compare with most of the other nations which we look at it.
Sure.
But understand, listen, let me finish. I had whole patience to understand. But today, I did not complete. I with a star condition apply, I'm saying. Today's condition has become, it is not for the people, it is far from people. I'm not talking about the 10 years. I'm talking about large number of years it was happening. And it is not by the people. It is BUY, by the people. Right? For the people, far from the people. By the people, BY has become BUY. And then what is the other one? For the people, by the people, of the people. It is OFF, not of. That has become the situation because sometimes more freedom will create a lot of problems. Democracy is supposed to work in place where people are educated. Democracy doesn't work when people are uneducated. Where there is a gunda who says, you all come with me. Not even I am talking about politics. It also happens in the religious practices which we have. Now, when you said our culture says saying no is right, that is how we have been trained. I gave an example where saying no was never part of Bharatiya Sankalpa. It is not Ekalavya wanted to say no and then he said yes. Actually, Ekalavya wanted to give it. That's why I had a program in which my foundation itself was called Ekalavya Group. When you believe that no, Adira loves me so much, and you declare that what I have learned from you is looking at my YouTube, when tomorrow you meet me, definitely you will come and hug me. I've got a lot of children like that. I remember when I went to Dubai for a program, somebody said, no, sir, how many videos you have? I said, I have almost 500. No, sir, 497. I have downloaded everything. You understood? See, there are people who follow like that. I remember, I'm sure whatever I ask, he will give. Probably when I have got somebody else, my job, this is what I said, an advocate has got a job. What is the advocate's job? For his party, I must make him suffer. When I work in a school, I have to train my children. Amir Khan's movie, you have seen the fight between one master and the another master. I think Amir Khan only recent movie where somebody is competing to get a job. And as an advocate, I am also an LLB. So my job is to take care of my client. So what I will do, I will see the other fellow. So who was the client for him? Arjuna. So his job is to uphold Arjuna. That's a role given to him. But understand, there are many cases where somebody has to say no, they said no, they also agreed. Karna was a great example. The mother went and begged. Karna said no. Immediately Karna said no. Sir, you are my eldest son. Do listen to me. No, I will not listen to you, Karna said. You understood? Whereas when Kunti wanted her sons to share the wife, Dharmaputra said yes, without even looking at the fate of the lady. And if you look at Panjali loved Karna, if you look at in between the lines, you can see a lot of things contradicting. These are not contradictions. These are temporary contradictions. I suggest Adira to learn the book published by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Mahabharata is unbelievable. That's a book title. The first instance is the reduction observed. Unbelievable is what is said. When you read in between line, it appear to be unbelievable. Because of these reasons, at that context, it is believable. So it's all reasons. Why government is curtailing somebody's freedom? I was also part of government. I worked in Prime Minister's office in Manmohan Singh's time. So as a government servant, I believe government has a system. Government doesn't run by politicians. Take it clean. No government runs by politicians. It's all civil servants who makes notes, and government only can say. He can give his directions. If at all something going wrong in the country, it is not democracy. It is because the political people are trying to influence the administrators to do the way they wanted to do it. The political people are doing the way the justice wanted to do it. That's why I said 5 pillars are there. One is politics, another one is judiciary, another one is administration. All these 3 are failing. That is where the media comes into picture. But media is also purchased today. Whatever news comes, you cannot believe. I am a person who has written a book on social media, depend on social media. You understood? When Orkut was there in Delhi, I published a book called Life Made Simple. But all these people fail. That is the time when teachers have to take a role. That is what is proved by Kaudilya. When Arthashastra was written, when Chandragupta was taken and Maurya Samrajyam was created, he picked up a boy from the ground. He was a person who left his country because he could not get adjusted with the rulers. So we had great history of teachers changing the rulers and creating parallel rulers. Adira, let us have great dialogue. If at all I am surrendering myself to somebody, it is only to Kaudilya and Vivekananda. Got it? Whether Krishna lived or not, we don't know. But you can look at Dr. TPS biodata of Lord Krishna. I have written the biodata of Krishna as a blog. I've got 97 blogs. Any dialogue? Probably we have less time. We will not conclude.
Just wanted to tell you one story. The other day, I have taught my parents to come to me whenever they get a WhatsApp forward, and I've told them that this might be, we just check if it's true or it's fake. So just confirm with me. I'll Google and I'll tell you if it's fake or true. So the other day, my father came to me and told me, okay, can you check this if it's true or, it's fake. So I told him, it's fake, Papa, it's not true. And then the next day, he came to me again and said, Chinu, do you know Disha Ravi, this 21-year-old girl, she got arrested. So please don't, say or share your opinions that might be very problematic right now. I asked him, Papa, did you reflect about why did you receive that video which shares or propagates Islamophobia? Did you think what is the intention behind it? He said, okay, no, I don't want to have this conversation. So I'm just thinking, who should say no right now? Should the government say no, or should the citizens say no, or what are we saying no to? Are we saying no to fake news or propagandas? I'm just thinking out loud here. I would love to actually continue this discussion later.
The problem is most of the messages has got a short life. And most of the discussions also have short life. I believe we must spend time which have got an influence of creating something very, very critically important for taking a message forward. Got it? When we talk about somebody, the other day I was talking about the Lady Sri Ram College Prakriti. Immediately my son said there will be questions like this from youth. But I not heard anybody asking that question. If at all they asked, I would have said, whom you are creating as an environmentalist is not at all an environmentalist. If I list out 100 environmentalists in this country, those people will not come at all because they are only 1 week older. Their influence has become because just somebody arrested, somebody made into media. The media runs a lot of things. So let us not discuss and waste time 1 week for a life, a story or a message which has got 1 week life. If you ignore it, that is better. Dr. TPS never posts anything on Facebook other than my own observations, what I create as knowledge. No forwards are allowed to me by anybody. If at all somebody sends some forward, even Athira, we had a dialogue, you forward something without your comment on that, I will ban you from my WhatsApp. Because I don't believe forwards. Number one, I don't have time to waste on Googling and find out what is right and what is wrong. Every day there are, my contact list in this phone is more than 1 lakh. And out of which probably 75,000, 80,000 is at your age. So you know how many people will have. They know what is that I, as a policy made people not to post anything. You understood? So unless we have a reason for that, don't entertain. And no, there are a lot of difference between an individual becoming a citizen. A country becomes a nation. It is more of feeling which you have to create. It is my purification which makes me once upon a time I never liked to go to US. But last 2 years, I have great people who are living in US who wanted me to go there. I taught Bhagavad Gita there. I feel that the country has got a better environment. Our problem is population. Our problem is people are buying people. People are buying people. Even spiritual leaders, they buy people. If you look at who is the spiritual leader today, you will see a lot of people, they always purchased people by paying money. You know, in the YouTube or Google or WhatsApp, the messages goes just because I can keep buying. So data is purchased, number is purchased, messages are pumped. It is very easy to defame. It is very easy to give wrong messages. So we have to discuss only what remains for longer time, not bubbles. Let us talk about water which creates bubbles, or maybe water which will not create bubbles. Understand the difference. Wonderful. Must keep in touch, Adira. Just Google Dr. TPS and you will reach.
Thank you, sir. We'll surely keep in touch.
Adira, ഇവിടെ ഡൽഹിയിലെ ഏത് ബാലഗോകുലത്തിലായിരുന്നു?
Madura Balagogulam, sir. Pocket C2, Madura Balagogulam.
Okay.
Phase 3. Mayur Vyar Phase 3.
I lived in Phase 1 and I was a constant visitor in Phase 3.
I have actually listened to one of your speeches when I was a little kid, and I was really, I think, impressed by it, because you give a lot of examples which are, life related and everything. So today when my mom told me that you are coming and for this webinar, I was like, okay, I'll come. She always calls me for it, but I have my research going on and dissertation going on, so I don't find time, but I'm glad I attended this. So thank you.
Sorry to intervene. Thank you, Adria, for your interesting question. And your answer is super, sir. It is my humble request to all the children who are asking the questions. Please, the question, make sure that the question should be short, and it should be based on the subjects that we are discussing on. Thank you.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste.
ഞാൻ ലക്ഷ്മി, എൻ്റെ പേര് അഖിൽ. ലക്ഷ്മിയുടെ ലാപ്ടോപ്പിലാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. എൻ്റെ പേര് അഖിൽ. കാണുന്നു. ഞാൻ എംടെക് ഇൻ എൻവയറമെന്റൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ്. ഞാനിപ്പോ എൻ്റെ പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ലൈഫ് തുടങ്ങിയതേ ഉള്ളൂ. സോ എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കേണ്ട ചോദ്യം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ഒരു പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ലൈഫ് തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ പേരൻസ് ആണെങ്കിലും ആരാണെങ്കിലും ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഡയലോഗ് പറയും. എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നിങ്ങളുടെ മുകളിലുള്ള ആര് എന്ത് പറഞ്ഞാലും അതങ്ങ് സമ്മതിക്കുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വാട്ട് എവർ ടാസ്ക് യു ആർ ഗെറ്റിംഗ് അതങ്ങ് സമ്മതിക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് അത് ചെയ്യുക. അത് സാറിന്റെ ആശയത്തിൽ അത് ശരിയാണോ എന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത്.
It all depends on which department you are working, what is the culture of the department.
Yes.
And you have a choice to select the department what you want. Assume that Akhil happens to be a police fellow and your inspector says go and beat those people. You have no choice other than beating them, because that department always believes in obey first, and maybe you can ask questions later, but first obey. That is the rule there. You agree that I obey, that is the rule for you, for which your monthly payment is given. But assume that you are part of Department of Space. We have always been told that you can always question your boss. That's what our tradition is. But after an argument, we come to a conclusion that this is the project to be done. Then you have no choice of going back. You are supposed to support that team. There are a lot of occasions in which I have said no to my boss. I know the consequence of that will be they will write bad remarks in your CR and you will not get a promotion. I will say, go to hell, yeah. If not this job, I get a better job if I am qualified. Who has to surrender to somebody? Assume that my promotion comes in once in 4 years. For 4 into 300 days. Should I become a slave for 1200 days, thinking that after 4 years somebody is going to give me a promotion which gives me 1000 rupees extra? That's a question, right? Whatever you think is right, you are able to sustain there and prove that you are right. Probably you will get double promotion after that also. Probably your boss will not stay there by the time. They keep changing, correct? I keep saying, who is a boss? Unless he is a rich man who is running a company in government offices, boss is some buffalo who joined previous to you. That's it. Just because he took birth a little earlier, he happens to be there. If I would have taken birth a little early, I would have been his boss. You understood? I remember I used to be part of training Telangana, Andhra Pradesh combined program. We had got Mari Chennareddy Institute for Human Resources. We select all the superintendents of police, superintendent of jail, superintendent of health ministry, doctors, senior doctors who are all running institutions used to come for us for training. And I was HRD specialist. And my subject is knowledge management. So I was teaching them, and then somebody said, sir, for last 20 years, I don't get promotion. I said, what a stupid fellow, quit his job and search some other job. Why are you sitting in a department where there is no promotion scope at all? He said, sir, if I quit the job, I will not get any other job. Okay, so you agree that you are a useless fellow. And still you want a promotion. This department where you are sitting is the best, I keep saying. So it is for you to decide whether you have qualification or not. You know, from Prime Minister's office from Delhi in 2009, I left my job. You need a lot of courage. Whatever money I am making per month, I must be able to make. Otherwise, my family will scold me. My children will scold me. Understood? We are in a society. We are human being. We are also social being. I've got a swadharma. I've got a family dharma. So we have to compromise somewhere. I remember one of the, I'm also into little bit of interaction with the film personalities. I remember somebody who came into Hindi film at the age of 50. I met him. I asked him, you are a great actor. Why you did not come earlier? My mother took a knife when I was 17 years old. I wanted to act in a movie. He said, you go for movie, I will cut my throat. So he couldn't opt his profession. But then he has to wait until his mother died to get into films. So you can imagine, there is a beautiful Malayalam movie for which Indrans is the actor. You search and find out which is the movie. I'm not telling, I'm holding it. He is from Iringalakuda. The producer happens to be a person who was a guest speaker, and I was running a workshop in Dammam, Saudi Arabia. He made a lot of money by painting all the ships in Saudi Arabia. And he produced a movie for which award was given, I think 2017 or 18. Then he was telling his ambition for making a movie was holding him for 50 years. When he made money, he wanted to make a movie. His daughter wanted to get married. So everybody holds their ambition sometime. I've done a lot of interaction with the youth in which I create a drama in which your inner passion will come out. And I found most of the people, they hold their inner passion scared because their parents don't want them to do that. And in fact, they allow their parents to die on a day so that their inner passion can come out. You understood? So it needs a lot of courage. I keep saying Mada Amritanandamayi would not have become Mada Amritanandamayi if she was the daughter of a couple, both husband and wife are school teachers. If Shankaracharya would not have become Shankaracharya, Vivekananda could not have become Vivekananda. But the problem is, everybody who jumps into their own profession will not become that great because danger is there in the society. So parents are scared. That's why I keep saying the scare and the danger and thrilling and adventure. All these are words to be analyzed perfectly. That's why people need a good mentor. Understand there are a lot of people who want to go to civil service. I will ask few questions to them to screen them and say that no, beta, you are not fit for civil service. Don't waste your time. Got it? I am sure environment scientists learned a lot of environment science which are totally rubbish and unacceptable. I contradict most of the textbooks which you are learning, though I taught environment science in engineering colleges. I was forced to teach something which is not acceptable to my conscience because in the textbook, for the marks you will have to write. That's different. But real environment science is entirely different. The other day's Prakriti lecture, you must listen, Akhil, and then reflect that in the comment. Then we will have discussions on that. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions left?
Now Sri Lakshmi should ask a question. Otherwise, is she muted and left?
No.
Because generally the people who are anchoring, they will not listen to lectures. They will be, no, what should I do next? What should I do next? Their attention is not here. The attention is somewhere else. Let me see. Tell me 2-3 points what you learned from this class.
We need to focus on our goals before we say
need to, or you have to.
yes or no.
We don't have common goal. Don't make me to be part of. We need to focus our goal, not there.
And I need to focus on my goals before I conclude saying a yes or no.
Yeah.
It's always a clash between our head and our mind and our thoughts.
Good. Good enough. Good girl. So you attended.
Yeah. Any more questions? So I guess that's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such an amazing session.